The Giselle Pelicot case should serve as a reminder for every single woman to get tested regularly. It does not matter if you're in a committed relationship. The same thing happened to me. Giselle Pelicot just found out she has 4 STDs.
Hello, everybody. I'm Cerebral, and this is Cerebral Talks TV. I want to see what your comments are. I want to hear your opinion about a very sensitive topic, and that's the topic of women who are married or just in a very committed relationship. You've been with the man for a long time. He's the only one you've been sleeping with. But especially if you are married, getting tested for STDs, believe it or not, this is still a taboo thing for some women to talk about. So before we get into the video clip, and I'm going to show some comments from women, okay? Remember this case. This case is still going on right now. This is in France. Dominique Pelicot. This man recruited dozens of men. Remember, it was about 72 men to grape his wife. He put pills in her drink. He allowed several men to grape her. And they just found out that he also had photos and videos of his daughter as well. And the daughter is afraid that he also was letting men grape his daughter as well. So his wife is around 71, 72 years old. This happened for about a whole decade. She didn't know that this was going on. And she's also, she has caught 4 STDs because of what her husband allowed to happen. Okay. It says that as a result of the sexual, Miss Pelicot was exposed to HIV but did not catch it. She did contract 4 other STD infections. Okay, one of the men that was graping her is in fact HIV positive. So this man on the left, that's her husband, that's in court right now. He allowed men with STDs, including HIV, to come over and grape his wife, even possibly, I think, on camera, while she was unaware because of the pills. So this woman, now, we don't know all of what, the STDs are. We can assume what they are, okay? But he allowed men to possibly risk taking her life through giving her HIV, which you cannot cure. I don't give a doggone how many pills you can take. Other STDs that can destroy your ovaries, your lady parts, smells, all type of stuff. This is just horrendous. So now there's the topic of, should wives have their husbands, should wives get tested? Men are known not to go to the doctor. They walk around with everything, and then when women catch stuff, they blame the women when it's the men who spreading it, yet people want to come down on the women who got it from a man. And a lot of women gets STDs from their husbands or the only men they are sleeping with if they are not married, but they're not sleeping with anyone else. So let's get more into it.
The Giselle Pelicot case should serve as a reminder for every single woman to get tested regularly. It does not matter if you're in a committed relationship. The same thing happened to me. My ex-boyfriend gave me 2 STDs, put me in the hospital, and I almost died because they festered inside of me because I thought, I'm in a monogamous relationship. I don't need to get tested. Giselle Pelicot just found out she has 4 STDs after a decade of her husband drugging and using men to rape her. Go get tested.
Okay, that's her TikTok right there if you want to go to her page. I might just put her video, if I still have it, as the first comment pinned. So she just said herself, her ex-boyfriend, her ex-man gave her 2, and that she almost lost her life. So many women believe that their boyfriend and husbands are not sleeping around with different women and even men. And a number of them are. And in some cases, they might not, but they haven't been tested in over a decade. They are not on top of anything. And then they jump into a new relationship and you marry the man, or he's your main man, and you trust him. You don't see any signs or symptoms. I'm sure you check out his private areas when you're down there. I'm sure you look, and you can't always see everything, or you don't see any green or yellow discharge coming out of them and stuff, and you just don't always know. So she's made this video as a warning to women. I trusted my boyfriend. I loved him. I thought I was in a committed relationship. I wasn't doing anything. And she said her insides were being destroyed by the STD, because some STDs don't show symptoms. You don't always know. Women are more likely to go to the doctor. These trifling men running around usually don't, and they don't care to, or they wait to see if something goes wrong with a woman, and then they'll blame you and say you, when it was actually them who was the ones who gave it to you half the time. So let's get into the comments of what women under this video were saying of their experience and what happened, and why they feel like if you are a married woman or simply in a committed relationship, they call it the civil union and all that, but especially if you are officially married, this is your husband, the man you sleep with, the man you trust, why you still need to get tested. And some people still feel like, what? That's your husband though. Well, you can't trust your husbands all the way, and that's a shame to have to say that. And there will be women who say, "Oh, just use condoms." We know, let's just be real here. Most women are not going to use condoms every time they wake up or go to bed, or the husband wants it, you want it, you both want it. That's your husband. Oh, every time. I mean, if y'all do it 5 times a week, oh, get the condom. Let's just be realistic. Most wives are not going to sleep with their husband with a condom all the time, and husbands with their wives. We know this. We just know this. And to be real with you, I shouldn't have to. That's my husband. If I want some right then and there, I want it. That's my man. That's my husband. But unfortunately, with what I'm about to shows you, this is just a shame on why women are saying, no, you still have to. I mean, if you don't, you still have to get tested, even if you are married to that man. Look at these comments. My ex cheated on me with SCX workers, and I didn't know for a year. Get tested. This is why it's important to have proper SCX talks with your children. My mother made sure I was never scared to ask any questions and tests they offered before I was sexually active. Test quarterly. Planned Parenthood. Okay. My ex has HIV. He was on medicines, thank goodness. He never told me he had it. I found out after we broke up. I'm negative. So that man was sleeping with you and knew he had HIV the whole time and didn't tell him. It's fine if they can get, I ain't even going to read that. That don't make sense. My first husband cheated on me while we were married. No STDs. But I didn't know about these women while I was married. A doctor once told a patient of mine, he does not test married couples. I repeat, a doctor told a patient, I don't test married couples. My patient then told him he should, because he sleeps with married men who for sure are not telling their wives. Now, at this point, it's not even worth it anymore. Abstinence is the only way I feel safe. Facts, a hard truth. Married people in those committed relationships are the most single acting, okay? My aunt got reoccurring yeast infections for mysterious reasons while she was with her long-term boyfriend, potential fiance. Turns out the woman he was cheating on her with had a yeast infection. Before we continue, I want to take the time to share this amazing company, this cafe in New Orleans, Lil Dizzy's Cafe 504. She actually has a cookbook. If you check out her TikTok, which I will share, you will see some of the most delicious looking food, the red beans and rice. As you can see up here, the collard greens, the mac and cheese, shrimp and fish, and a lot more. You will see it again right on her TikTok. So she has decided to make her own cookbook, and you can pick up her cookbook if you were in the area. This is in New Orleans. The cookbook is $20, and she also has the gumbo mix for $9. And the address, as you can see, is right there. And if you visit her TikTok at Lil Dizzy's Cafe 504, you see at the bottom. All right. Now, if you cannot make it to her cafe, you can email her, as you see up top. Email Arkesha at lildizzy'scafe.net if you need it shipped to you. There's her email right there. Okay. And you can write her, ask her for more details. How do I pay? Do you take PayPal, Cash App? How do I purchase? And she'll work out everything with you. If you want to get your hands on this cookbook, these amazing New Orleans recipes straight out of her cafe. And yeah, so check her out. Now let's get back into the story, this topic. My ex-husband gave me an STD and a rare vaginal bacteria that they had never seen before. It took 3 weeks of 3 different antibiotics to clear it up. Trust no man ever. I never understood how people thought being married guarantees a safe sex life, hence why marriage is not even necessary. My now ex-husband gave me chlamydia. I ended up septic and almost passing away because I didn't have symptoms. It left me infertile. Can't have children now because of a husband. My aunt got cancer because her husband was unfaithful. It was an STD, probably maybe HPV. I work in the healthcare industry, and on a weekly basis, I see married women with HIV and all kinds of STDs from their monogamous men. Men don't care. Wake up, ladies. Stay safe. Especially while in a relationship, because most couples don't use condoms. Many SCX workers always say how much the men hate their girlfriends and wives and purposely give them the STDs. Test every 6 months. Best advice I ever got from a coffee shop manager. Inspect what you expect. Yes, turned out my ex-husband was having SEX with others the whole time, and he didn't use a condom. So infuriating. I kept getting infections, and I don't know why. Men will blame a woman sometimes when the punani starts to smell fishy all of a sudden, when it's actually him sometimes the reason why your coochie's starting to stink, because you keep getting an infection, or he doesn't wash his uncircumcised penis correctly, or he now went up in a woman and came home but didn't wash right and then went up in you. I'm in shock that so many women stop getting STD screenings after they get married. We all know men step out. Women need to stop being naive about it. My ex-husband went overseas in the military and came home with STDs, then tried to get back in bed with me. I thank God for the dreams I was having that warned me. It's so amazing too, because men who are married will say, yes, I'm your husband. God ordained me to provide and protect. But yet you want to go out and step out on your wife? But yet you don't feel the need to use protection to protect your wife from getting something, even though you shouldn't do that anyway. But I'm just saying, isn't that amazing? I had to reassure my doctor I was in a good relationship because my ex cheated and left me with a forever gift. When I was married, my gynecologist would always tell me to still get tested. I was super young and didn't understand why, but now I do. We can never let our guard down. It sucks. My now ex-husband gave me, okay, I read that. She ended up septic. Okay. All right. Let's see. The men in these comments. One thing I notice is that there are barely any men in the comments a lot. Men tend to stay quiet about these type of videos. Why is that? I think we should reframe STIs as more of a abuse tactic by abusers. People who are abused are at the highest risk of getting STIs, proportionate to how abused and disempowered they are. I don't know if I agree with that. Anybody can get a STI. Just it's called having sex, and if somebody has something, then you can get it. It doesn't matter about all of that, in my opinion. Okay, let's see. When I was married, I found out my husband got HIV. I ran to my doctor. Fortunately, I tested negative. I divorced his butt immediately afterwards. My goodness. The amount of married men a gay friend of mine sees and hooks up with other men at a local hookup spot blows my mind. My gyno said she was testing me regardless of my relationship status. Get tested. Your health matters. F what he says. Years ago, she had a miscarriage and she almost passed away from pelvic inflammatory disorder. And that's how she found out her husband was cheating. Pelvic inflammatory disease is real and can really mess up your reproductive organs. If you are having sex, get tested. Why don't you say everyone get tested? Both men and women could be creeping. 72% of men don't get tested. They rely on a woman's test results or symptoms to know their status. Yeah, but when I went to get tested regularly, they made it seem like I was doing something wrong. Yeah, they'll assume, oh, she must be doing stuff, this and that. She's a married woman, so maybe I don't trust my husband. Maybe I had some inklings about him. Maybe I feel something, or maybe I just want to know. It doesn't mean that the woman's crazy or she's doing something, and they might say, well, you're being paranoid. Do you see the world we live in? Do you not see the world we live in? And if I am paranoid, maybe it's because, again, I have a feeling or I'm seeing something and I just don't trust his butt all the way. In cases like this, what we're seeing, what just happened to this woman, is more evidence of why you cannot even trust your husband, who was ordained to take care of you, to provide and protect you, not protect you only from strangers with what this man failed to do, but is also to protect you and your body from harm. That's what your husband is supposed to do. And this man failed her, and he also was accused of raping a woman and taking her life a few years ago, which he claims he didn't do. Please, you let 72 men grape your wife. So that is it for this video. I want to know, ladies, what do you think? Do you agree with her that if you are married to that man, and I'm saying even if you're not married, but he's the only one you're sleeping with, but especially your husband, should you still be getting tested every 6 months? And what do you feel? You feel you should use a condom every single time you and your husband want to have sex? I don't think that's realistic. I don't think so. And I know most women and men would slip up and not always use them who are married. Let's just keep it all the way real here. And a woman should not have to feel like she's going to catch something from her own husband. That is ridiculous to me. Reading those comments, and there were more comments. I couldn't read everything. It just shows you how evil and wicked so many of these men out here are. These men are literally trying to KILL us, KILL our womb. They only care about themselves at large. You were just used as something they need, walking punani, and they don't give a damn what happens to you. And if something does happen to you, they'll be quick to call you dirty or a whore, So I always find it amazing when men talk about women, but yet 72%, I agree with that woman, they don't even get tested. Amazing. So what do you think, ladies? Are you going to use a condom with your husband? And do you believe that women need to be tested, even if they are married? So that is it for now. I cannot wait to read your comments below. This is considered still a sensitive topic, but it's real life, and these are real things that happen to women every day. Women will say, well, I'm just staying celibate. You're not going to stay celibate forever. And you can just have sex one time or with one man and still catch something, even from your husband. So let me know what you think. Leave your comments below. If you're new, please hit the bell Click on notifications so you know when I'm live and when I upload. And check out my videos and my lives and my shorts. You all take care, and my community section. Bye, everybody.